going on, everybody? It's your boy Rail back with something new. Oh, yeah, from time to time, okay? I'm not always doing reviews. Sometimes I want to get in depth. I just felt the need to have this conversation. Me and my boy talked it over, and I felt like it was such a good convo. I want to bring it here to my people and get a feel on if y'all feeling what I'm coming from. All right. Now, I understand I come in with all this bias. So, any points I'm going to make, you're automatically going to go, oh, Rail's just saying this because da 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 da. Right. But if you could just, I don't know, like, take my word for it. Okay. This is an unbiased conversation we're about to have here. And I did a little bit of research, which I don't normally do. Okay. I'm taking a page out of the book people's book. All right, but this is a temporary hold. Okay, so all beef with book people, we're laying down our arms. It's time for us to come together as one. Now, it was plaguing me, right, as I was watching House of the Dragon. I don't know if you guys remember, but in my first few episode reviews, I kept saying something was missing. It was the acting, right? I said the acting is lacking. I'm hoping it steps up at some point. So I wasn't going to judge it too quickly. So now the season is over. Okay, I've seen all 10, right? Now let's get into it. My real issue is I think money tends to ruin great acting, right? When it comes to shows and movies, right? Very few times do you get something where the budget is ridiculous and the acting is fantastic, right? Very few times do you get those combination of the two. And when you get it, you know what we call that? A classic. Yes, that's right. That's what we call a classic. Now, I've been staying away from comparing Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. Okay, because I wanted to take House of the Dragon in for what it was. I didn't want to come in with any preconceived notions about or comparing it to characters, especially to the OG Game of Thrones. I didn't want to do it because that would be unfair, right? I fight this battle about unfairness, comparing something totally different to its predecessor, right? I like to come at things just plain. Now, the huge difference between season 1 of Game of Thrones and season 1 of House of the Dragon that I noticed was the acting. Okay? It was just lacking in a bit. I'm sorry, House of the Dragon just does not come with that dialogue. Like, now, if you're a person who just loves action, right? You want to see the violence, you want to see the good sword play, you want your John Wick moments, right? That's what you want. Then you don't give a shit about what I'm about to say at all. So it does not it doesn't do anything for you. But I am talking to the people who enjoy dialogue, acting, intrigue, something that, when characters make you feel a certain type of way. Like, holy shit. Like, you got Heath Ledger, who made me feel a certain way when I saw him play the Joker. Even just recently, this Evan Peters dude. I still haven't finished Dahmer. Because A, it's too creepy. It's too real. And I don't know how I feel about myself watching it. So I just I copped out after that the deaf kid shit. That after that episode, I was like, I'm done. I'm not watching no more. That was just fucking rough. But anyway, so, and if you're wondering, like, okay, what gives me the credentials to talk on this type of topic? Have I been to film school? Nope, not a bit. I haven't even took a goddamn film class in college. Nothing. I just have been the only child living my life in front of a TV when I wasn't outside. Right? My boys couldn't come out and they were often bad, so they often didn't come out a lot. But I was in front of the TV. All right, that's my life. So that's my credentials, people, going into it. Now, I want to say the when it comes to what our first thing I looked at was like, why is the dialogue so lacking? Why is the acting so mediocre in House of the Dragon? Like, what is the fundamental difference between Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon when it comes to the acting? And I was racking my brain. But you know what I came up with? It was the money. It was the money. Okay? Now, I had to do some research because I was just pulling off the top of my head. I was like, money often destroys things. When you get to a bag, you don't have to be as creative. You don't have to spend as much time on dialogue because you're going to woo the people with a lot of fire, a lot of action, a lot of shit, right? And I always bring up this Jaws example. Like, I don't know if there's any fans of the Jaws film, but the film Jaws was supposed to be, you know how we seen the shark like twice? Maybe like yeah, maybe two to three times. It was supposed to be you saw the shark all throughout that shit. I'm talking about the shark was supposed to destroy and just be everywhere, right? But what happened was that the damn shark malfunctioned. So they only had limited film of the actual shark, right? The shark was done. And they had no money to get the shark fixed in order to put it on screen. So what they had to do was they kicked up the sound, right? The music, that doom 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 doom, right? They had to put all these other elements involved to get you super revved up for when the shark came. So that means the dialogue in that movie, all the acting, everything was taken to a 10 because what was supposed to be some shark coming through biting heads off and shit, turns out we ain't got no damn shark. So now we got to lean on our creativeness. We have to lean on our actors. We have to lean on the suspense that we're going to build via the score of the movie and all these other things. And then you get a fucking classic, right? And I'm not putting Jaws to Game of Thrones, the OG, but it's something similar, right? So what's the difference between two, Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon? The budget outside of the acting. Now, Game of Thrones season one, the budget was $6 million an episode, $60 million in total, right? And that's bust down between all the extras, all the actors, filming on location, everybody working on it, everything, everything inclusive, right? So that left them to not be able to do exactly what they wanted to do. For instance, you remember Khal Drogo when she went in there, did that mythical shit, and then we just saw from the outside, we heard the sounds, and we said, "Oh shit, what's going on in there?" That added to the intrigue. They couldn't show us because they had no goddamn money. They couldn't just blow money on arbitrary ghosts and shit, right? And the birth of Daenerys's baby, what they had to describe what this possible dragon-looking baby looked like. They couldn't give it to us. And we didn't see those dragons born until the season finale. That's why they took the rest of the money and said, give them some goddamn dragons. But all of season one, you had to lean on creativeness, suspense building, and acting and dialogue. Because you don't know if you're going to be around. They could have put all this money into the production and the whole season and nobody bit. So they're not finna throw a whole bag at it. Right? Because the whole purpose of creating some shit is not just to entertain you. Who are you? Who are you? It's here to make some goddamn money back. Return on investment, ROI. Now, we see as Game of Thrones went along, the budget went up. I think it reached a high of $15 million by the time it got to the last two seasons. Right? They were able to touch some money. So they gave us some giants. They gave us White Walkers out the ass. They gave us a whole lot of CGI-ness. Because they had the money. They had the money. Now, House of the Dragon, their budget, they say, was just under 20 mil. So we're going to call it $20 million an episode. So for 10 episodes, that's 200 million compared to the 60 million of Game of Thrones. Are you with me? Are you with me? So with an extra 140, the franchise of Game of Thrones has already proven itself. It's already created freak-ass fans like myself, and even freakier fans in you and the book people, right? So they know they're going to get their money back, throw the bag at it. So what do we get this season? Hella dragons. Oh, I'm talking a gang load of dragons. Dragons, different names. We got flight scenes. Hell, the season finale by itself was enough for a Godzilla movie. Like, it was just... I'm talking about the imagery. Did y'all see the cameras they used? Oh my god. And the blood and the murder in season one of House of Dragon. Holy shit. Like they were showing things that typically you'd be like, oh, cutscene. Okay? And we just had to imagine what a smashed head looked like. Oh no, they were giving you smashed heads in House of the Dragon. Truly appreciated. Yes, yes indeed. But because they had so much money, because they could do all this fancy shit with the CGI, with the camera, with the action, the blood, that's what they leaned on. They leaned so heavily on the action and the murder and the mayhem and the dragons that it was to deter you from the fact that it was no real acting going on. None. I mean, the best actor, which is, I think he's a shoe in for an Emmy, hands down, hands down, was Viserys. Viserys was the best actor on this show. He held the acting down. He didn't do anything action wise, but his tone, his words from when he got angry to when he was sad, he went through an influx of emotions and he brought it to screen and you felt it. Now, y'all favorite characters, they acted not so much. Let's go. I mean, obviously I'm going to start with Daemon. What makes Daemon's acting so fantastic? What scenes could you point out to me where it goes, damn, he was acting his ass off? Oh, he made me feel that way. Daemon just played a monotone asshole. He was never sad. Hell, his angry Daemon is the same as calm, menacing Daemon. He's got like a Nate Dogg face. Him and Otto both. Him and Otto, outside of smirking, that's about all you're getting. I'm just keeping it a buck. The acting, no, it wasn't there. Okay, and the only person I got right behind fucking Viserys in the acting is old Allison. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and I hate Allison. But her acting, the older version of her, young Allison, mediocre at best. At best. Could care less about younger Allison. Older Allison invokes something in you. You hate her face, you hate the way her fake nobility, her wanting to, you know, just create it where she could just take over the throne, but nobody gets hurt. That delusion, she pulls all that onto screen, and then dealing with shitty kids she would have never chosen. Probably hating on the fact that Rhaenyra has half decent ass kids. You see that. You see the jealousy that Allison brings. You see the resentment that she has in Viserys at times when it comes to his daughter and not saying it. Like she brings that to screen. So excellent job by older Allison. Older Rhaenyra, not so much. I mean, what has she done on the acting side that wooed you? What scene? What made you go, oh, that didn't involve action? Her most, I don't know, probably the last one when she gave birth to that stillborn by herself. That was probably her best acting. But it involved some gruesome shit. It did. Any scenes with Daemon were blah. I mean, her at her father's bedside, did she invoke to y'all that she was like sad about her father? Did you feel anything from Rhaenyra on Viserys's bedside? Oh, meet your kid. All the acting was on the bed by a dying man. Daemon even had the opportunity. What does Daemon do? Sad face. And then he steps up to help his brother to the throne. That wasn't acting, that was an action. That was it. Nothing. The dialogue, there was no witty banter between people. No. The best banter was between Viserys and Otto, Viserys and young Rhaenyra, who I enjoy young Rhaenyra's acting over older Rhaenyra's acting. She at least brought that childhood, I want to be free. I want to fuck on who I want to fuck on. I don't want these responsibilities. I want to make my own decisions. She at least brought that to screen. And then I got Princess Rhaenys probably pulling up third best acting. Not Corlys, not his brother. Their scenes, all blah. You know what I mean? Like, everybody had their moments, sure. But to sustain for 10 episodes, and that's my fear. And I'm just like, why? But it's the money. Name an episode where there was not action and blood in it. They're leaning too heavily on the action in House of the Dragon. Now, Game of Thrones, season 1, ask me who the best actor is. Shit, I have no idea. You got a fucking list of people to choose from. The worst acting. Jon Snow was probably, maybe, the lower tiered acting out of season 1. Jon Snow and shit, I don't know. I don't know who's a bottom tier. Caitlyn, maybe? Catelyn Stark? That's your bottom tier from Game of Thrones. Acting. That's your bottom tier. Game of Thrones bottom tier is dusting everybody under Viserys. Okay? Everybody under Viserys, the bottom tier acting of Game of Thrones is fucking demolishing them. I'm not even finna compare the acting of Varys, Littlefinger, Tyrion, Cersei, Jaime. Fucking these people were showing they ass on the acting side. Dialogue, the Jaime alone, his transition from anger to cockiness when he was dealing with Baratheon, his upsetness when he came at Ned trying to prove himself to somebody who the land regards as a super noble dude, and Ned Stark, and the portrayal is so powerful in Game of Thrones. And I think that's just the fundamental difference. But they had to act their ass off because they wanted more. They wanted more. They needed that check. They was acting to save that bag. And then when you get season 2, that money started increasing. You get the ghost babies. You get Daenerys feeding her dragon. Shit you would have never seen in season 1. And then when they reached their ultimate peak of 15 million, the last 2 seasons, we got trash. We got trash. Simple as that. Unfortunately, money can make or break some amazing shit. And I don't know who's that on, the executive producer, the producer, to say, hey, we got this budget, but we need a balance. We need a balance. And I wasn't seeing that balance in House of the Dragon. Does that make House of the Dragon a bad season, a bad show? Hell no. Hell no. And guess what? From the death of Viserys, what are all of y'all telling me is about to come? Oh, this war is about to it's about to be dragon on dragon, man on man, steel versus steel. It's supposed to be like 10 episodes of fucking violence. Which, hell yeah, sign me up. Sign me up. But what I won't do is pretend like there's good acting going on if there isn't. And I'm still waiting on the character. I've seen names thrown out. What about Larys? Right? The creepy foot fetish man. He's acting. Sure. He is. He brought something different to the screen. But is it mind blowing? Is it like, everybody has their moments. And was he acting until that moment when he did the whole foot shit? No, he was just creepy in the corner. Looking like the dude that what's what's my man from Aladdin? What's the bad guy from Aladdin? God, Jafar? He reminds me of the dude that Jafar used to transform into with them raggedy ass teeth, and he had that. Oh, come here, Aladdin! Like that's who he reminds me of. Like that seems to be where he's drawing, like his motivation from. But yeah, the acting, and guess who was in that scene? Larys's best acting scene, Alicent. She killed that fucking scene. The placing of her feet on the table slowly. The can't believe I got to do this face. The turn to the side. I know what this man wants. I hate this man. Shit, Alicent with Rhaenys. When Rhaenys was telling her, ain't you tired of looking for a man to fucking validate you? You never looked at that throne? Like, damn, I could do a better job. That could be me. That scene with them 2 women is some of the best acting. And it involved the top 3 actors in the goddamn show. So don't get mad that your favorite is not good. Maybe the writing is lacking. Maybe they're not giving them the dialogue. Because Imagine, why do I need to waste so much money or time and essence in writing good dialogue when there's just about to be somebody beheaded? There's about to be a sword fight. A dragon's about to swoop through. They're looking like, who gives a shit? I, Rail, give a shit. And the more that y'all are what's the word? Fuck it. The more that y'all just fine with it, that's what they're gonna give us. So it's not Rail complaining. It's not me. I'm pointing out just the facts. 200 million versus 60 million. And the acting is what's lacking. That's, and like I said, the cinematography and House of the Dragon, you got your money's worth. The dragons, you got your money's worth. All of Daemon's fight scenes, you got your money's worth. Every other fight scene, you got your money's worth. The smashing in of that dude's head, Sir Simcoe, holy shit, he beat him to the, his head disappeared with his fist. I've never seen no shit like that in film. I was a fan. I said, holy shit. Wow. But that's what their goal is. So, I just wanted to share these thoughts with you, man. See how y'all felt about it. If you really, because I know a lot of y'all probably going through withdrawals and you're going to watch House of the Dragon a second time through. If you're really going through withdrawals, you should come rewatch Game of Thrones with us. Me and my viewers. All right, me and my subbers. We're having a damn good time. Going back and seeing what real Game of Thrones is looking like. Well, real acting. You know what I'm saying? Real dialogue. Holy shit. There's so many episodes in Game of Thrones where there's not a fist thrown, but it might go down as some of the best episodes to hit the screen. Without a punch being thrown, without a dragon, a giant, a White Walker, nothing being shown. Might be the best episodes that was placed there. So that's it, man. I just had to vent. I had to get that out, And again, I wouldn't be, unfair to go, Otto reminds me of, no, Otto is his own character. I've seen these posts where they tried to compare Otto to Littlefinger. First off, that's disrespectful to Littlefinger. Secondly, they both have different motivations. And I don't even want to get started. Don't compare these people. Don't compare nobody. My favorite actor, Viserys, don't compare him to the best actor in Game of Thrones. Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. They're all their own different entities. They all got their own different motivations. And I mean, honestly, I don't even know why the fuck none of these people want the throne in House of the Dragon. But I had that argument with the Discord gang in our lives. Yes, we do lives. We do lives. You could chat live with Rail. You could argue with me. Just gotta join Discord though. But it's just something for y'all to think about. This was just something that was sitting on me, and I figured I'd give it out to y'all. But yeah, that's it. That's it. I do have something special coming up for y'all as well. All right, so be on the lookout for that later today. So with that, protect your health, yourself, your wealth, man. Happy Halloween. Happy birthday to my boy Lord Commander in the Discord. Birthday gang. All right, protect your health, yourself, and wealth. Your boy Rose out of here, man. Peace. Yo, I know I don't need no introduction, but y'all know who it is, man. It's your boy Hollywood Rail. And I appreciate you for sliding through and watching these videos. But you know what I need from you? All right, if you ain't already, I need you to like this and subscribe this, man. We at 1,000 trying to get to 2, all right? Push it for your boy. Get them algorithms up. So when it come to that subscribe button,